We've got some fresh new talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
We want to inspire you,
to excite you.
I'm excited to see what we can do together, so let's smash it.
Good afternoon and welcome to our first ever Engage APAC. I'm Laura Jenkins and I'm joining you from Sydney here today. We have got a jam-packed agenda lined up for you and I'm so excited for you to hear firsthand about what some of our fantastic customers here in the region have been making happen with Smartsheet, as well as some of the great new capabilities that we have available for you in the platform. Now we have a big group of you here today and I know some of you may be brand new to Smartsheet and others long-term customers or maybe even seasoned pros. Whichever you may be, we're happy to have you be part of Engage APAC today and I can assure you there will be plenty to get you inspired. First up, in our opening address, you'll be hearing from our CEO, Mark Mader, who'll discuss dynamic work and what that means for our customers. You'll then hear from Nigel Mendonça, Vice President of Asia Pacific at Smartsheet, who will provide a regional perspective on this new world of work and take you through the great lineup of content that we have in store for you today. The rest of our afternoon will not only provide you with the chance to hear from a fantastic lineup of APAC customers, including New South Wales Correctional Services, Fox Sports, Ayala Land and RMIT, but will also offer product demonstrations and finally, a rundown from our Chief Product Officer, Jean Farrell, of all of the exciting solutions and capabilities that you now have available to you in Smartsheet. Plenty to look forward to. Before we dive into that, just a few quick housekeeping items. First up, you'll see that we do have a chat box to the right of the main screen, and we invite you to ask questions at any time. Our team is on hand to respond. And you'll note we also have a resources section underneath the main screen where you'll be able to access all of the materials relevant to the sessions. So with no further ado, let's get started and go to Mark Mader, our CEO.
Thank you, Laura, and welcome to all of you. We appreciate you being here for this special edition of our Engage Customer Conference, an event created especially for those of you in APAC. There's no doubt that we are in the midst of a powerful and defining moment because change is all around us. The way we interact with friends and family is changing, going to the grocery store is changing, politics are changing, school is changing. Life as we knew it before COVID is changing and has changed us in ways we can't possibly yet understand. And yes, work is changing. I'll share more on that in a moment, but know that our goal today is to challenge you and inspire you to think differently about the change we're all facing and the opportunities that change presents. As we move through this session throughout the entire day, you'll hear examples of how Smartsheet enables people, teams, and organizations to do great work, their very best work, how we empower you to contribute and to drive value for your organization, and how Smartsheet is the leading platform for collaborative work management at scale. But what I'd like to offer right now, right up front, is my belief that Smartsheet is much more than a platform for work. Smartsheet is a platform for change. We exist to help you harness change, empowering you and your organization to be proactive versus reactive, a catalyst versus a casualty, at a time when the world is changing so rapidly around us. Smartsheet is about helping you lean in and empowering you with a sense of ownership in the work you do and in the change you seek. And because the variety of work that people do, the way in which they do it, and the organizations in which they exist are virtually limitless, Smartsheet is built to adapt to you versus you adapting your work style to us. Our platform's ability to flex to suit your unique needs, work styles, and opportunities may be our greatest strength. It's been a year like no other, from personal and economic disruptions to an overdue reckoning with issues of racial and social injustice. 2020 will long be remembered as a year of tumult, a year of challenge, yes, but as a result, a year rich with opportunity. On matters of diversity, equity, and inclusion, we are committed to walking the walk. To ensure we continue to create a work environment that encourages and supports all Smartsheet team members, we're expanding existing training opportunities, refining our hiring practices, and auditing our external relationships to ensure that we do business with suppliers who align with our beliefs. When it comes to the disruptions of 2020, it's fair to say that COVID has completely rewritten the definition and experience of work for many. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that for a significant percentage of you with us right now, you're managing your child's school day, caring for a parent, or handling one of many other things to which we've all become far too accustomed. We're facing a new reality, a reality that each of us must find a way to make the most of and to accept for the foreseeable future. COVID has been the ultimate accelerant of transformation, of the type of change I spoke to earlier. We are all participants in this massive shift toward a new way of working, but none of us really know if this new way is well-reasoned, improved, and carefully designed, or just something we're adjusting to as we go, working from home and hoping that what we're doing is making a difference. Regardless, we faithfully attend endless video meetings. We toggle between messaging apps and emails. We begin our days earlier, end them later, and are seeing the concept of a work-life balance become simply one long, blended work life. You know exactly what I mean. Yet while we've bought into this somewhat frantic adoption of technology in the hopes of working more efficiently and effectively in this new setting, no one is asking one fundamental question. Is this really the future of work we want? This time of extreme uncertainty and change presents a rare opportunity to rethink not just the tools we use, but fundamentally the way we approach work. We have a chance to start with a mostly clean slate, determining how best to drive innovation, enable competitive advantage, and to inspire our people and teams. With COVID forcing such change, why would we not use this as an opportunity to transform, to improve the way that work is done and change is accomplished? I'm not saying it'll be easy. It will require a shift in mindset and a firm belief that we can make the most of this moment. But I think you'd agree that the potential payoffs are enormous. So what's holding us back? What challenges do we need to overcome? The first thing I would point to is also perhaps the simplest, that people and organizations just don't know or recognize what's possible. They don't know there's a better way, a more dynamic way. Many businesses continue to labor under the belief that simply digitizing or using cloud-based versions of their traditional siloed productivity, workflow, and content apps will solve the problem. That is, at best, only a partial solution. The lack of integration across these apps means that critical information about the work being undertaken does not easily or quickly flow throughout the organization, inevitably resulting in missed opportunities and inefficiencies. This well-intended, but ultimately ineffective approach leaves us poorly prepared for the reality we face. For instance, in the rapid shift to remote work, we've largely digitized face-to-face conversations through web-based meeting services. More virtual conversations are happening, yes, but that's not what employees believe will maximize their productivity. There's a paradox here in terms of digitizing the old way versus finding a new way to work. According to a research report from 451 Research, a well-known industry analyst firm, employees report that their number one challenge is the absence of daily, in-person, face-to-face conversations. At the same time, over 3/4 of surveyed employees would prefer to doing fewer work calls and less email and messaging. While employees are perhaps having more conversations than ever, the ability to actually do and be accountable for work is being lost in the grand scheme of things. At Smartsheet, we believe that to effectively compete and to thrive, businesses must embrace the opportunity we have to work more dynamically, to simplify, streamline, and integrate how work is initiated, managed, and delivered by their people and by their teams. The future of work we seek is about creating impact from the edge of your organization by empowering individual users and teams to innovate for the company as part of a more effective, more innovative workforce. And when I say workforce, we don't just mean employees within our four walls. Today's workforces span a company's employee base, its partners, its supply chain, and its customers. A truly dynamic enterprise securely facilitates the collaborative work of both those inside and outside the organization. Achieving this means empowering people as change agents by enabling and integrating three key areas. First, the ability for them to act in the moment, not just collaborating and communicating with colleagues, vendors, and customers, but having that collaboration lead to action in real time. To create and shape flows that are right for the challenges to be addressed and the teams addressing them. And to impact the business by bringing more than a project to completion, but making the most of change, actually improving and innovating processes in a way that creates true long-term competitive advantage. Enabling these three powerful work elements to come together in a fully integrated way is what drives rapid adoption of our product and ultimately delivers value for our customers. It also clearly differentiates Smartsheet from more narrowly defined, task-oriented solutions. Don't worry, I know that's a lot to unpack, and we'll do just that as we move throughout today. You'll be hearing more about the Act Flow Impact concept and how it relates to some of the new product innovations we'll be sharing with you today. Suffice to say, succeeding in today's rapidly changing world and ensuring that your business is future-proof to face the inevitable changes and opportunities of tomorrow means enabling a more agile workforce, a more flexible work environment, and, ultimately, creating a more effective enterprise. For over 7 million users across tens of thousands of organizations, Smartsheet is the means by which they transform work into dynamic work, unifying collaboration, workflow, and content management into a platform that gives everyone the ability to continuously make an impact. Whether you're a Smartsheet veteran or new to the platform, I've got some good news for you. You are in the right place. Throughout the rest of this session and the entire day, we'll be sharing examples of the ways you can leverage Smartsheet to embrace change and transform it to your advantage.
Thank you, Mark, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our first ever Engage APAC event. I'm Nigel Mendonça, Vice President of Asia Pacific here at Smartsheet. And thanks again to our CEO, Mark Mader, for sharing that perspective on the changing world of work and the opportunity we have in front of us to approach things differently as a result. Today's a really exciting day for us, and I'm proud to be speaking with you about how Smartsheet is working in the Asia Pacific region to empower dynamic work and unlock human potential. The year 2020 has been one of many firsts, although there were definitely a few in there that we weren't expecting. While COVID-19 threw a few spanners in the works and certainly brought new challenges to us and our customers, this year has also seen many positives. It seems like only yesterday we officially opened our APAC headquarters here in Sydney back in January. Since then, we've expanded the team across all the important functions needed to support our customers in this region. We've got to know many of our existing customers, and we've also welcomed lots more to the family. We've launched our first regional user groups, and now here we are hosting our very first Engage APAC event, and in digital format to top it off. So whether you're new to Smartsheet or a long-time customer or a partner, thank you for joining us today and being a part of this exciting inaugural event as we navigate a new world with a new approach to work to match. Today will be a different type of event than what you might be used to. Gone are the check-in lines, lanyards, and lunch queues from physical events. On the downside, it's a real shame we don't all get to meet in person, as in my experience, that's one of the things that really fosters great relationships and helps build strong communities. But the huge positive from this digital format is that it allows so many more people to join this event than would have been possible in person. At today's event, we're excited to share some of our great customer stories, which will bring to life what your teams and organisations can achieve with Smartsheet. Today is all about hearing from your peers and learning how to change your work into dynamic work. It's about understanding the challenges that another organisation may have solved so that you can get ahead of those same challenges in your own organisation. And above all, today's event is all about how we can collectively thrive by breaking down silos, improving productivity, and adjusting business processes to drive better outcomes through making our work more dynamic. First up, we're going to have a customer panel discussing the building blocks for agile businesses fit for change. You're going to hear from Fox Sports, Western Australia Mental Health Commission, AG Coombs, and Ayala Land about how they are succeeding in a time of huge change. You'll hear some excellent insights from these leaders who are tackling this evolving environment across a broad range of industries, from sports broadcasting to construction to public health. Following the panel, we've got a really interesting case study from one of our customers at the New South Wales Corrective Services. And then we're going to break off into industry case study sessions where you'll hear from another group of our customers across the small business, government, and general business sectors about how they're transforming their businesses with Smartsheet. Following these breakouts, you'll get to choose a short product showcase demo to watch before coming back into the main session. We're then going to hear from Jean Farrell, our Chief Product Officer here at Smartsheet. Jean's going to run us through some of the fantastic new product features that have just been released. I'm sure there are plenty of you who've been eagerly anticipating this update, so don't miss it. Now, throughout today's event, you can tweet via #SmartsheetEngage and connect with peers attending virtually. And as Laura mentioned earlier, we really encourage you to ask questions as we go via the online chat on the right-hand side of the screen. But before we get to all of that, I want to spend just a few more minutes talking to you about why we do what we do here at Smartsheet. At Smartsheet Asia Pacific, we want to help businesses in this region truly unlock and realise human potential so that they can remain adaptable, flexible, and embody a culture of continuous performance. Today, we know companies that prioritise collaboration are twice as likely to be profitable and outgrow their competitors. We also know that businesses that have prioritised being dynamic, agile, and flexible have been able to navigate this year more successfully. We worked with Harvard Business Review to survey global business leaders and found that 86% of organisations who strongly agree that their leadership entrusted teams with innovating prior to the pandemic also reported that they adapted well to this year's challenges. 80% of survey respondents agree that agile and innovative employees played a big part in ensuring business continuity and success during the pandemic's disruption. So collaboration is definitely the key to unlocking human potential. But while we may have many collaboration tools already at our disposal, this doesn't always mean we're collaborating effectively or finding ways to work autonomously. And that's exactly what we want to make possible here at Smartsheet. We want to empower teams to easily design solutions that meet their needs in the moment, without being reliant on developers every time they need help. For one thing, it's much faster, but it's also predicted that there's going to be a huge deficit of developers over the coming years. Now, this is why we built a no-code platform to allow anybody to use Smartsheet exactly how they want to and fast. From the same Harvard Business Review research, we found that almost 9 in 10 businesses agree that having empowered, autonomous teams is critical to an organisation's future success. What's needed today is a different type of technology solution that integrates with all your existing systems and applications, but also empowers teams to plan and track work progress, execute with agility, and align with the needs of the enterprise. This is exactly what Smartsheet does. Whether that's creating customer forms to capture data or automating workflows to keep everything ticking along in the background, Smartsheet is the platform for dynamic work. Now, we've seen many of our customers, both globally and locally, use our platform to help with their response to COVID-19. With restrictions often changing quickly, it's been important to be able to respond just as fast, whether that's by managing the data from contact tracing to stay compliant, like AI Land has done within its offices, or keeping track of employees' whereabouts and well-being on construction sites like AG Coombs has done. You'll have the chance to hear from them soon, but it's been incredible to see the innovation and agility of our customers during these difficult times. Now, with rapid change as a new normal, we need to be ready to adapt as conditions change. We commissioned research earlier this year that found that the rapid migration to work from home left 80% of Australian workers craving in-person interaction with their teammates. It's no wonder many people are itching to get back to the office. The same research also found that 82% of workers feel less productive with their work since going remote. This was especially true for millennial workers. There are a few main barriers to productivity. 68% of workers feel distracted by too many voice, video, messaging, and email conversations throughout the workday. 64% also feel they don't have the correct tools to build or adapt new business processes, workflows, or project designs. Our objective here at Smartsheet is to make collaboration easy, building on your existing tech stack to break down silos and empower employees. You shouldn't need to work with applications that don't connect with each other. The beauty of Smartsheet is that it acts as a dynamic layer in your organisation that sits between your systems of record, things like ERP and CRM, and the layer of team-based productivity tools like email, Slack, and Zoom. The research shows that it's the friction and disconnect between these two layers that has resulted in linear, slow, and disconnected workflows, as well as siloed people, processes, and information. And I'm sure many of you have seen that recently. Collaboration is in our DNA, not just Smartsheet's DNA, but yours and mine. Collaboration is what helped Homo sapiens colonize the Earth more than 70,000 years ago. It's what has helped the human race to some of our most impressive achievements, from the beginning of the Great Pyramids to putting a man on the moon. Good collaboration is more than just communicating and working together. It's building on each other's ideas to create something new and valuable. So why not set up your teams for success? Enable them to be productive and deliver the best outcomes. In the year ahead, as we continue to grow our team in the Asia Pacific region, we plan on helping even more people and businesses here tap into dynamic work to unlock human potential. Lastly, we're excited to offer plenty of great events and learning opportunities in this region too, like regular webinars for new and existing customers and regional user groups, providing you with the opportunity to hear from and connect with existing customers in this part of the world. Our Learning Centre, which you can find on our website, also offers a wealth of information relating to all manner of topics. And it's great to see we've had so many of our customers in this region become Smartsheet certified this year. Now it's time to make this all real and for you to hear from our customers about how they're navigating new ways of working with a dynamic workforce. They're pushing boundaries and leading the way in creating agile and innovative teams with collaboration at their core. Thanks again for taking the time to join us for Engage APAC today. Enjoy the sessions, and I'll see you in a few hours.